Yeah. Hey. Yeah.
Welcome back to Blitzburg Squad. I'm Wesley Seeley, joined alongside Shane Smith. Thanks for joining us as we dive into the Week 5 NFL predictions. So, started off Thursday night, Buccaneers at the Bears.
Oh yes.
Somehow the Bears are 3-1.
Yeah, they're not 3-1 material.
Right.
I'd say that
They're fooling everybody.
their quarterbacks are atrocious. And then on the other side, you got the never going to retire Tom Brady,
Fountain of youth.
who has I think finally hit his stride with the Bucs. Him and Justin Herbert went at it last Sunday, and Brady put up 5 touchdown passes, which I couldn't tell you the last time he did that with New England. But again, he's got a heck of a lot of weapons. Yeah, he lost O.J. Howard, but they have this guy named Rob Gronkowski. I don't know if you've ever heard of him.
I think they played with each other before.
Yeah, just a few times. I think they did fairly well together, and I don't think the Bucs have really utilized this guy yet.
No.
So it'd be interesting. He'll see more playing time due to Howard being down, and the Bears are dubbers.
Right.
They're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
With the way their quarterbacks are playing, unless something turns around, it's not going to happen. So
I was going to say, they pulled Trubisky, put in Foles. He looks okay, and then the last game he doesn't look great. And then it's like,
looks horrible.
Now what?
Yeah, now, I mean, from what I've heard around the thing is you can't put Trubisky back in, but do you really want to stick with Foles? You're kind of shooting yourself in the foot if you keep going back and forth, and that's never going to work out.
Yeah.
So I think Bucs handily take this one.
I was going to say, I think we're on the same page. I'm taking the Bucs too. Do you got a score prediction?
Yeah, I'm gonna say 27-10.
Okay, 27-10. That's pretty good. I would say I'm gonna say like 34-14.
Okay.
I think Buccaneers will win by a lot because the Bears just don't have it.
No, they don't.
And I don't see the Bears making this a great game. So
no, I don't either.
I think Buccaneers will handle their business there. All right, and then the Sunday games, we have the LA Rams at the Washington Football Team.
Yeah, doesn't bother me about home field, even if they're allowed to have fans, because I think there's more Rams fans than there would be football team fans at this point. And who knows? Do you think the football team would allow people with Redskins jerseys to come in?
That's a good point.
I wonder. That's pretty offensive these days. So you're not, they may not even allow some of their fans to come in.
Valid point.
I don't trust Dwayne Haskins, and I think Chase Young's probably still out with that groin injury. Haskins is just a turnover machine, and the Rams have gone back to form after getting rid of Gurley. I don't know what what it was, but when they got rid of him, they reverted back to what they used to do, and I think it's worked pretty well for them.
Right. Yeah, they look more of like the 2018 Rams than they do last year's Rams. They look like a different football team. They're looking good too. And their one loss against last week's, was it the Bills?
Yeah,
right?
The Bills, not
week
week 3.
2 weeks ago.
Week 3, and that was a questionable PI call, but it was called. Loss happened, but it was still a good game. So.
And good teams, 2 good teams there. So
yeah,
but yeah, I don't trust Haskins on the Washington Football Team. I just don't think there's enough there. I think they've exceeded my expectations of what they could have been for the Washington Football Team.
Oh yeah,
they've done pretty well, but I just don't trust Haskins still. So
yeah, I agree with that. I think the Rams pretty handily. I'm gonna say that they break 30 on this. I'm gonna say 35-17.
Okay. I'm gonna say 28-14 for the LA Rams. I think the Rams will take it, but and I don't think Haskins will do enough. So yeah, I think that's what it'll come down to. But then we got the Bills at the Titans.
Yeah, that's still, I believe,
Corey. Up in the air.
Yeah, I believe it was Corey Davis is on the list that brings their total, as far as I've known, between personnel and players to 22 after breaking protocol, and we won't get back into that little rant that we've had. Mm-hmm. So if they don't play, I think the Bills get a free win, and kind of the same situation where they get a semi-bye compared to, kind of like the Steelers did last last week. If they do play, I wholeheartedly believe that the Bills will take advantage of this. The Titans, I don't even know if they have enough to man a full 52-man roster right now.
Yeah, that's going to be the one thing is, like, I think Derrick Henry's still going to play. So he's their big star on the offense, and Tannehill, I think, is still going to play.
As far as we know, they've got negative tests, but Corey Davis being their, I would say probably their top.
What about A.J. Brown? Is he? I think he's been injured, though. I don't think he was.
Which
COVID,
wouldn't surprise me. Yeah,
he
I don't
looked
think
really
he's
good
got
last
COVID.
year.
Mm-hmm. And so, Corey Davis is an essential piece in my opinion, and being out, I think it'll kind of affect them a little bit with throwing the ball.
Yeah, no, I could see that. I mean, it's weird because they still have, like, their main piece with Tannehill and Derrick Henry.
Right.
So it's weird to say that it could be a complete, like, lopsided game. But yeah, I mean, if you're missing majority of wide receivers, defense, whatever it would be, like, yeah, you're gonna look like a different team. So
yeah, and I mean, just to look at the Bills have been, Josh Allen has taken a massive step up.
Very.
And their defense is finally starting to get there.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think a lot of people thought Josh Norman was washed up in his career at this point, and he came back from being on IR and, made a fumble and an important recovery that kind of turned the tide of that game. And, I just think the Bills are too strong at this point to give up to a Titans team.
Yeah, they're a more well-rounded team in my opinion. I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah, even if it was a fair matchup, I'd still take the Bills. Yeah. So, but with Titans might, if it happens, if the game does happen and them being depleted, like, I think the Bills will take this one. So.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Josh Allen seems to be good for 3 touchdown passes and a rushing touchdown every week, so right. I don't see why that wouldn't continue. I think it's still going to be close. I'm going to say 28-20.
Okay, I was going to say 24-10. So. Okay. I think it'll be pretty close there too. So then we got the Eagles at the Steelers, which I know we're going to talk about this. We talked about this in our other video. But
yes, we'll talk in great detail on that.
Right, exactly. I guess just real quick overview and then your score prediction for it.
Real quick overview. We're coming off a premature bye, which I think may be a plus. We're playing at Heinz Field, not Philly. Philly's line looks bad. Our defense looks good, and I think our offense is getting it together. I'm going to say 25 to 10, kind of an oddball score.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, I think same thing here. Yeah, I think their offensive line's just too beat up right now, and our defensive line is just on fire and looks great this season. I think Ben will really turn it on and throw some yardage this game. So I think Steelers 37-10. So. All
right.
And then the Cardinals at the Jets.
The Jets still have not fired Adam Gase. So
somehow, some way.
They are still a dumpster fire. Have always been a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
For as long as you and I can remember. And the Cardinals, they've dropped the last 2. And they had a real poor showing last week. I think they come out this week, and they're a little fired up after
Was it against the Lions? They lost 2?
They lost the Lions 2 weeks ago. Last week, they were playing... Oh, you're going to ask me that, and I don't know.
I don't remember who they played. I knew they lost to the Lions, but I was thinking it was last week for some reason.
Let me look that up real quick.
I think
they lost to the Panthers 31-21.
Panthers. Okay, yep.
And I think DeAndre Hopkins had 3 catches for like 7 yards, and Larry Fitz had, I think, 1 catch for 4 yards.
Okay.
Maybe not even a catch. So when you have that kind of production out of your top 2, I don't see that continuing, and I think Kyler Murray kind of comes back. And
yeah, it's hard to say the Jets would win this one.
Yeah.
they looked a little bit better against the Broncos. That Thursday night game.
I don't know if the whole team looked better or if just Sam Darnold looked better.
Might have been. But even like Desir got that pick 6. They made a couple good plays on defense. I was like pretty impressed. I was like, wow, they're actually like looking like a team effort here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the Cardinals look pretty good their first 2 games. Have dropped their last 2, but I think they're a better team, and Kyler Murray had things rolling and had a good flow with the offense the first 2 games. I think he'll get it rolling again in this game especially. This would be a good bounce-back game for them. So
this would be a great one. And the Cardinals' defense is no joke, too, especially with Chandler Jones. I mean, Chandler Jones is a monster on the sack front, and So I see him harassing Darnold all night long. So I'm going to say it's going to be low scoring, though. I'm going to say 14-10.
Okay, I'm going to say 17-13.
Okay.
Cardinals. So I would agree. I think it's going to be a little bit low scoring, but I think Cardinals will get it done. So, okay, this one should be a good one. This divisional game, Raiders versus the Chiefs. Raiders at the Chiefs.
Yeah, divisional game, so it's always hard to say, okay, well, the Raiders have looked bad to these teams, but then you play this team twice a year. You play them very consistently every year, twice a year.
Right.
And you got so much consistency on both sides. Derek Carr's had his good games, his bad games, and I think some of his receiving core has been a little beat up. I'm not sure if Ruggs played last game, but I know he's been battling, and that's an important piece, even though he's a rookie. And Josh Jacobs has been injured. But the Chiefs, it's been weird. They come out, week 1, they look great. Week 2, they almost lose to the Chargers with Justin Herbert. Week 3, they come out flying off the handles and absolutely destroy the Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
Then last week, until the fourth quarter, it was 6-3 against the Patriots with Brian Hoyer as the quarterback.
Right.
So it's, what version of the Chiefs are you going to get?
Yeah. Just hit and miss.
Yeah, it seems to be an every other week occurrence. So, unfortunately for the Raiders, this falls on the week that they're going to do good.
Yeah.
And so I think the Chiefs ultimately will win this. And being at Arrowhead and having their loud, rambunctious crowd, even if it is only a few thousand.
Limited, yeah.
I think the Chiefs will handily win this one.
I think Chiefs will win this one. I just think it'll be closer than we think, in my opinion. I think because of it being a divisional game, records really don't matter at that point. Raiders looked good against the Saints, so if they play anything like they did against the Saints, and then if Chiefs play anything like they did, or even if just the Raiders take the game plan of what the Chargers did,
right?
You know what I mean? Like, just play them like that and limit what they can do. I don't know. I just think this will be a really close game. I think Chiefs will ultimately find a way to win, but I just think it'll be a really good game. I kind of think like 27-24.
Oh,
Chiefs.
Wow. I'm going a bit higher. I'm going 26-13.
Okay.
So,
I could see it going that way too. Raiders could pull a complete dud here. It's just a division game is just so hard to tell.
Right.
And like I said, if Raiders come out and just look something like they did against the Saints, I could see it going really close or either way. So. Then we got the Jaguars at the Texans.
So we have the now coachless, GM-less, I think play callerless team that was playing very bad for some talent that they have against Pornstash. Yeah, that guy needs to get rid of that. But that's a whole different thing. Jaguars, I can't even think of when their only win was this year. Oh, it was against the Colts, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, because Philip Rivers looked bad.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that very much. Other than that game, I don't think the Jaguars have looked that great. And honestly, they're a horrible team to begin with. I think they're kind of in the market of without saying it out loud, they're hoping to get Trevor Lawrence with the number 1 pick in the draft. And you have the Texans, who I honestly think a lot of the players were like, listen, we're tired of Bill O'Brien. He keeps throwing the buck down to this person, person. We have Deshaun Watson as our quarterback, and he can't figure out how to utilize this guy. So I think a lot of the team quit on him. And so I think this week we'll see, a more motivated team. And I think the Texans get their first win this week.
I saw a really funny stat about the Texans that said they, what did it say? They were the team that had like the most invested, I think, in their offense, or maybe their whole team.
Well, I know they have the most in their offensive line.
Okay, and then they're 0-4, and they were the only team to like not have their first and second round pick this year. So it was just like they have a bunch invested and not having a lot coming back, and yet they're still 0-4.
Yeah,
that sucks, but. I think to go along with your point, I think they might just kind of find like another new resurgence now that O'Brien's out of there. And I think like the Texans are still a solid team, like, and we've talked about this too, but they caught a bad break, at the beginning of the year. Like they've had to play at least three really good teams. So
and if you go back to last year, the Vikings were a solid team last year, and so they just haven't turned it in this year.
Yeah.
And so ultimately their first 4 games were brutal. And they caught a break with the Vikings, but the Vikings just happened to turn it on at the right time.
Right. Yeah, I think I'm going to take the Texans in this one, though. I don't think it'll be a big scoring game. I'm guessing like 20-14.
Okay. I'm actually going to say that Deshaun comes back with a vengeance.
Okay.
And I'm going to say he hits 4 different receivers for touchdowns, and they ultimately win 31-24.
Okay. I like it. We got another divisional game, the Bengals at the Ravens.
Well, it's at Ravens, so if that's got anything to say, Joe finally got his first win, and again, he has looked like way more than a rookie quarterback. I mean, this guy's getting pummeled the whole time, but when he has time to make those decisions, he's making the smart calls.
Mm-hmm.
And so he just needs his team to back him up on this.
His offensive line.
Yeah, well,
mostly.
Yeah, that's for sure. And honestly, even last week against the Washington football team, I thought the Ravens defense looked bad.
Yeah, I don't think it looked great.
I mean, honestly, when you have Dwayne Haskins, who's known for turning the ball over, and the week before, I think had turned the ball over 5 times alone.
Yeah, against the Browns?
Yeah, between fumbles and interceptions. And they only got 1 turnover, I believe, total, and it wasn't a pick.
It was a fumble. Marlon Humphrey punched it out, I think.
Oh, yeah, I believe you're right. And so I don't know if there's something going on whenever they lost their nickel. And just kind of shuffling around the DBs have kind of thrown stuff off. And I know Patrick Queen had come in and out a couple of different times, with a couple of bumps and bruises. So I think they find a way to win, but I think the Bengals will stay surprisingly competitive.
You think they'll give them a game?
I think they will. Being a division, and Joe Burrow wants to prove, listen, that 1 win wasn't a fluke. I think him and A.J. Green are going to start connecting this game.
Yeah, okay. I like it. This is another one of those divisional games that really could go either way. Could be a blowout, could be a tight game. I kind of think it's going to be more of a blowout, though. Ravens, I mean, their defense looked maybe a little lackluster against the Chiefs, and they did enough against the Washington football team. But, man, against division, I think they could really get after Joe Burrow, especially with that line. You know what I mean? And then also Lamar and the offense will probably be clicking. They'll probably run the ball.
Yeah, run the ball. That's the key word.
Yeah.
Because Lamar the last 2 weeks has not been a good thrower.
No, he hasn't.
Under 100 yards 2 weeks ago.
And I'll never admit it.
Like 212 last week.
Yeah.
Like, it's horrible.
Yeah.
He's the running back playing quarterback.
Right.
And I'll say that until he proves me consistently wrong.
Right. I think Ravens will win 31-17.
Okay. I'm gonna say.
You're thinking closer. I know you are.
Yeah, I'm thinking closer. I'm gonna say 24-21. Justin Tucker wins it with a field goal.
Okay, and I could see it going either way. Like I said, those division games, flip a coin sometimes. Okay, then we got the Panthers at the Falcons.
Dan Quinn still has his job. Another 0-4 team.
Another surprise there.
Yeah, that it's they find ways to lose.
Right.
I mean, they have nothing that is clicking when it comes to defense, and they're just giving up yards and not making turnovers, and they are just playing awful football on that side, and Matt Ryan's trying to bail them out.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's just not enough no matter what way you go. So I still think, I think the Panthers win it. And this is a divisional game as well, I believe. And I think this will be the one that finally cost Dan Quinn his job.
Ooh, yikes. Yeah, Falcons defense just looked disastrous. I mean, they've given up how many leads so far this year?
I don't know if it's been every game or not, but I know at least 2 big leads.
Yeah, exactly. So that alone is going to make me take the Panthers. I mean, I don't think Falcons could stop anybody, honestly.
Right.
So are Panthers getting McCaffrey back?
I don't know if they're getting him back this week or not.
I didn't know when he was
want to say
returning.
they threw him on IR, which means this would be week 3, I believe. So
Okay.
I think
So
the
maybe
next
next
week
week.
he may
Okay.
be able to come back.
But I saw Teddy Bridgewater make a couple good throws last week, so
He looked good.
yeah, I'm gonna take the Panthers. Like I said, I just can't bet on the Falcons to stop anybody
Oh,
and then
no.
close out a game.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care if you give them a 40-point lead, like they might blow it. So
Yeah. They find ways to blow it.
I'm not gonna count on them.
I'm going to say the Panthers drop 38 on them, and the Falcons are able to muster 21.
Wow. I'm gonna say Panthers get 28, and then I'm gonna say the Falcons will get 20. So,
okay,
because I think Falcons can score. I just don't think they can
Yeah.
stop anybody. So, all right, then we got the Dolphins at the 49ers.
Niners have Mostert and Garoppolo back practicing this week. Doesn't mean they'll play, but practice is a good sign. So they
Kittle
may
was
get
back
them
last week. He looked
Yeah.
good.
Kittle and Debo.
Yep.
So they're finally starting to get the pieces on offense back. That would put just about all of them back, maybe all of them. Unfortunately, their defense is still, their defense has done well for all the pieces that they're missing, but they are missing their front four by far.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is just so sad for them. And then the Dolphins, they surprisingly have put up fights. Fitzpatrick has done some things that are good, and he hasn't really pulled his Fitz magic yet.
Right. We're waiting for it.
We're waiting for it, and I'm waiting for it to either fizzle out and them throw in Tua, or them just stick with Ryan the rest of the year, because you can't go back and forth.
Yeah.
And I think Brian Flores is a smart coach on that. But I think the Niners are going to win at home pretty handily. But I think on the hindsight, Dolphins are going to see Tua come in the fourth quarter.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to take the 49ers in this one. I think the Dolphins have looked okay. They've shown some fight in some games. But the 49ers, I think, just overall are a better team, even with the people they've lost on offense and defense, man. Especially if they get some people back, too. Jimmy G and Mostert.
Yeah, Mostert, which is their number one runner. And he was blowing the tops off of people when he was in.
Yeah, no kidding. I just think 49ers are a better overall team. But I think my score is going to be 27-20, 49ers.
Okay. I'm going to say 24-9.
Okay. All right. Then we got the New York Giants at the Cowboys.
Division game with the worst division in football. Dak Prescott is set to break just about every stinking passing record there is currently, except maybe touchdowns. I think he's on pace for over 6,000 yards throwing.
Wow.
Absolutely ridiculous. But it's because they're always playing from behind, because their defense cannot
It's horrible.
stop anything. They catch a break this week, though, because even though it's a divisional game, they're playing the Giants without Saquon Barkley. And I really think that this year it's been on highlight that when Saquon was out, that is the only thing the
That's all
Giants
they got
have.
going.
Yeah. Because I don't even know if the offense scored a touchdown last week
Couldn't
or the
tell
week
you.
before.
Yeah.
They've just looked horrible, and Daniel Jones, I think, is having too much on his plate and is reverting back to last year's form. So I think Dak will ultimately win this, and the Giants will become an 0-5, and they'll have to make a decision there if Daniel Jones is their quarterback, because they may be in the running for Trevor Lawrence as well.
Yeah, no kidding. I think Cowboys' defense is pathetic this year.
Horrible.
But, man, the Giants' offense is horrible. It's pathetic without Saquon. So I probably will take the Cowboys, just give them a slight edge because their offense. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think Cowboys just have too much firepower on offense. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
Their offense has been clicking. That hasn't been the issue, I don't think. Although they have had some turnovers on the offensive side.
Yeah, Zeke had a unfortunate fumble last week, where he was literally just sitting on top of the guy and had the ball punched out.
Yeah.
And so they've turned the ball over, but Dak's just he's got Zeke, he's got CeeDee Lamb, he's got Amari, he's got Michael Gallup, he's got his tight end went down. I don't know their backup, but he even, I think, scored a touchdown last week against the Browns. And so I think Dak continues his pace of throwing for another 450 yards-wise, but I don't think it reverts to the scoreboard as much. I'm going to say 21-10.
I'm going higher.
Okay.
I'm going 38-6.
Woo!
Cowboys. Just because I don't know. Like you said, I don't know if Giants can even score a touchdown. I know Cowboys' defense is horrible, so this would be the time to do it if the Giants wanted to. But
well, and there's talk that Leighton Vander Esch.
Yeah. There you
okay.
Go. That sounds right.
Maybe coming back, and that would help them a lot.
I thought he broke his collarbone though.
Yeah, somebody I read a thing saying that he was practicing though. So
okay.
Maybe he's a tougher guy than you or I.
Yeah, maybe he's back at it. All right, cool. Then we've got the Colts at the Browns.
This one will be interesting. I really don't like Phillip Rivers. I don't. I won't. I will never. But surprisingly, the Colts have the number one defense in the league. It still blows my mind that they have the number one overall defense. It's just a stingy group.
Yeah.
And so I'd be interested to see if that continues with the Browns and their running attack. Nick Chubb, their number one runner's out with an MCL injury for, they said, multiple weeks. So I think they placed him on IR.
That makes sense.
But they have a nice backup in Kareem Hunt. But Kareem Hunt has also been dealing with a groin injury, I've been told. So, if he re-aggravates that or something, now you're down to your third and fourth guy.
Their third guy, I don't know his name. He looked good, though.
Yeah, he went off. And so I'm not sure if that was because of how bad the Cowboys' defense was. Because the Cowboys' defense gave up 307 rushing yards in a game. If you say 307, I'm pretty sure most everybody's saying, yeah, they threw for 307, not ran for 307.
Right.
And Odell Beckham, I think, ran for 40-some or 50-some yard touchdown.
Yeah, he did on the end around.
Yeah, that's not going to happen with the Colts. I'm trying not to be biased here. I think it's going to be close.
Against the Colts or against the Browns? I can't tell because it could go either way.
It really could. I'm going to say the Colts pull this out and that they're going to make Baker be the one to throw the ball. And I don't have enough faith in Baker making those plays. Their running game and their receivers and their tight ends and their line is all good. Baker needs to show me something, and I don't think that's this week against this defense.
Okay. I'm actually going to take the Browns over the Colts.
Okay.
And my reasoning is because I think the Browns just know how to run the ball. I hate to say it, but even with that third guy in there, it might have just been the Cowboys defense, but they find a way to run the ball, and they find a way to get a good game plan of running the ball. So, and then also you've got Jarvis Landry, you've got Odell. They've got, who's their tight end?
Austin Hooper.
Yeah, I was going to say Njoku, but he's out now, I think, with an injury, right?
Yeah, probably. Njoku's unfortunately always out.
Yeah, and Hooper's looked pretty solid for him so far this year.
Yeah, they paid him a good chunk of money.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I just think, and the Browns defense, they have all the pieces there. They didn't look great against the Cowboys last week, but they have all the pieces there, I think, to do enough.
Because they looked good for 3 quarters, and then the fourth quarter came.
They allowed the comeback.
And, man alive, I mean, we thought it was going to be the Cowboys' biggest comeback of the year, which we didn't think was possible after they came back to the Falcons.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you're right. I mean, they have a nasty
Like, they have the
defense.
players on the defense to do it. Like, they've spent the picks. They spent the money. They've done all that. I don't know. I just think the Browns, and they're on a good streak right now of winning some games, and they look pretty decent doing it. So I hate to say it, but I think the Browns are going to pull this one out. Yeah, I don't know. You got a score for this one?
Yeah, I'm going to say low scoring. I'm going to say 17-3.
Okay.
I'm that up on the Colts defense. I think their defense is that good.
All right. I'm going to say 20-13 Browns.
Okay.
Because I think it will be a tough game for them, just because I think the Colts defense is pretty solid. I just think that I think they'll find a way to run it or pass it or do something and win the game. So, all right, then we got the Broncos at the Patriots.
Patriots, not sure yet. Maybe without Cam Newton again, which would put. I want to say they put Stidham in near the end of that game.
Yeah, I think they did.
So I'm sure he'd probably be the starter. Their running game's been solid. Their defense has been decent. They're 2-2 for a reason, though. However, Stephon just got placed on the COVID list, so he is not playing in this game as long as it's played. And that's going to be a huge difference maker.
Right.
I assuming it's that Ripponen. Is that how you pronounce his name?
Backup.
Yeah, because they had Jeff Driscoll, and then they benched him for.
Oh yeah, you might be right. I'm not sure.
I don't know if it's Ripponen.
I saw him come in for the Jets game.
He
threw a nice block.
Yeah,
for Melvin Gordon.
Is coming in second, possible game under his belt, because I don't think Drew Lock's coming back this week. I could be wrong. If he comes back, then I'm definitely picking the Broncos. But with as is right now, I'm gonna still pick the Broncos to edge out the Patriots.
Makes sense. I just don't know if I can pick against Bill Belichick. The dude knows how to get ready for a game. Like, no matter who's playing out there on the field for him, he knows how to get him ready and how to game plan against his opponent. Like, he knows how to take away your biggest X factor. Like, I mean, whether it's Jerry Jeudy, I mean, there's like, oh, okay, I don't have Gilmore. Well, I'm gonna place, I don't know who it is now they have out there. Like, I'm gonna put my best guy on him and try to take him out of the game. Like, I don't know. I think he just does a good job at getting like rid of your best players, and then on his offensive side, like, yeah, he might be down to Stidham now, but like, then they'll just roll with Edelman throwing the ball or something. I don't know. Like, I think he'll figure out a way to do it. I don't know.
It is at Gillette Stadium, which, being at their home, I don't even know if they have fans, but that's a hard place to play too.
Right. Yeah, I think I'm going to take the Patriots in this one just because of that. I think they're still a better overall team altogether, and I just think Bill Belichick will get his team ready more than the Broncos will. So, I kind of think Patriots will take this one 27-17.
All right. I'm going to say, based on Drew Lock not playing and having Stidham in and not Newton, I'm going to say 24-21.
Okay. Broncos, right?
Yeah, Broncos.
Okay.
Broncos.
All right, and then we got the Sunday night game, the Vikings at the Seahawks.
Vikings are 1-3. They haven't looked good. Kirk Cousins has looked horrible for the most part.
Go ahead, cut to the chase.
Jefferson's looked pretty good.
Yep.
Cooks looked good.
Yep.
Their defenses looked poor.
Okay.
And what better team to be at home to play against? Wait, no, that's not right. What worse team to be on than Russell Wilson and DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett?
Yeah.
Because Russell Wilson is going to absolutely obliterate the Vikings defense.
Yep.
I think this could be an absolute shellacking. I thought that last week with the Dolphins game, and the Dolphins hung in there and only allowed Russell Wilson to throw for 2 touchdown passes. But he still has 16 on the year, and that's on pace for 64 touchdown passes overall, which beats
Mahomes.
Brady's, beats Manning's, beats everybody's single season record by far. So I think that the Vikings drop to 1-4 very handily.
Yeah, I would agree there. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind. I think the Seahawks win this game. They just look so good, and we've already said Russell looks great this year. He's on fire. He's a man on a mission.
He has.
His receivers have looked good.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
DK Metcalf is a monster. Like, I do not know how he lasted till the second round, what he dropped for, because that dude is not only fast, he is a large-bodied guy.
Mm-hmm.
And Russell Wilson is the perfect quarterback to put him with, because he'll just burn it, and Russell will literally cannon the best deep ball in the game.
Yeah.
Like,
DK Metcalf looks like a linebacker playing wide receiver.
He does.
He's a giant.
And he just catches the ball, slams you to the ground, and walks it in.
Yep.
Or he's so far wide open that he's literally just walking in and untouched.
Yeah.
Like, it's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to take the Seahawks for sure. Russell Wilson just playing out of his mind. So, I kind of think it could be a blowout, too. I mean, I'm kind of thinking like 45-24.
Okay. I'm going to go 49-21. A blowout as well. And I'm going to say Russell Wilson gets all 7 touchdown passes.
Jeez.
That would put him to 23 on the
Probably
year.
put the backup in by then.
I don't even know who their backup is.
I don't even know who it is either. Okay, so then the final game is Monday night's game, Chargers against the Saints. This one should be an interesting one, actually.
It'll be very interesting. I'm going to go that Tyrod is still not in, because as far as I've been told, when Tyrod comes back, they're still going to put him in, which makes absolutely no sense after Justin Herbert almost. I mean, he took it to Brady.
And he took it to Mahomes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, he when he's put up against adversity and he's put up against a good team, he's like, listen, I'll throw the ball, and I got a cannon for an arm. And now he's playing another old-time quarterback in Drew Brees, so he gets back-to-back future Hall of Famers. And, Kamara's looked solid. I'm not 100% sure, but I know Michael Thomas, I want to say last week, was practicing, so
okay.
I would hope
might be back in the mix.
He may be back, maybe still another week before he's in. Do the Saints allow fans yet?
I'm not sure. I'm trying to remember back to that Packers game.
Because that's a scary place to play when the fans are there.
I'm not sure. I want to say no, but I could be wrong.
And it's hard to see when you're watching on TV as well, because they normally don't show out there, or they have the cardboard cutouts. And let's be honest, I wear glasses for a reason. I'm going to do the upset and say the Chargers pull out the upset. I think their defense is better than most people give them credit for. Breeze is getting there, but I don't know. There's just something about this Chargers team that I don't think they should be 1-3. I think they're better than their record shows, and there's something that some teams are sleeping on right now. Yeah.
I'm totally on the same page with you, man. I think for a bold prediction for this week would be this game for me. I think the Chargers are going to get the upset in New Orleans, and I think I could definitely see it going either way, because it's weird to see the Saints at 2-2 and see how they've looked so far. So I could see the Saints using this as a bounce-back game. But, man, the Chargers had a really close game with the Chiefs, and then they had that would have been a win, had the last hook and lateral gone successfully. They would have been a walk-in touchdown. They would have won that game. So you're looking at a completely different record, completely different team. Like, yeah, I think you're right. I think their record kind of shows you that, like, I don't know, they're just a better team than the record indicates. And
yeah.
I don't know. I could definitely see them upsetting, and Justin Herbert's looked great. Like, if Tyrod Taylor's in this game, who knows? I could go with the Saints if that was the case. But
for sure.
as far
Taylor's horrible.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, if Herbert's in, I think it's the Chargers.
Yeah, and that's what I'm basing off
good.
of is Herbert's in. And yeah, he's a rookie. He's not going to make every throw perfect and things like that. But at the same time, I think he's looked better than a lot of people gave him credit for.
I was going to say, all things considered, yeah. And I think that Chiefs game, I don't even think he knew he was starting until like 5 minutes before the game.
Yeah, something
Coach came up to him
lines.
or something and was like, hey, you're in.
Because the medical doctor jammed the needle and punctured Tyrod Taylor's lung. Like, I'd be curious to ask and see, like, did the doctor do that on purpose just to get Justin Herbert in? Because he's like, oh, dear God, like, I don't want Tyrod. Or, you know, if the doctor's still on the team. Because if you puncture somebody's lung off of a needle, like, you really screwed that up.
Right. Yeah, it should be a good game. I'm kind of thinking Chargers. I think it'll still be a close game, but I think it's going to be like 27-24 Chargers.
Okay. I'm going to go lower score.
Okay.
I'm going to say 18-15 and be the only game that maybe ever, or at least in a long, long time, it's all field goals.
Wow. Okay. That would be
just
bizarre.
To throw something in there.
You're talking about Breeze and Herbert not throwing for touchdowns.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And 11 total field goals made.
All right. That would be bizarre. You're going really bold on that prediction.
I really am.
Yep. All right. Cool. No, yeah, that's about it. I know Packers are on their bye. I don't know who else is on their bye for this week.
Lions.
Okay.
Detroit.
Yep. Oh, okay. Yep. So, all right, cool. And then we'll have to wait to see what happens with the Bills and Titans game. If that gets postponed, rescheduled, whatever the heck's going on with that. Forfeited, or if it's just going to stay the same. So, we'll see. But those are our picks for this week. So, we'll have to see and wait and see what happens this Sunday and Monday night.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
Awesome. Well, thanks for everybody tuning into our Week 5 predictions. I think that's going to about wrap it up for us, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. If you want to see more of our content, on YouTube, we're trying to upload some more, and our podcast is Anchor, Spotify, Apple, Google,
just about everywhere you can find podcasts.
And we appreciate the support that we've gotten so far.
Absolutely.
And, like, subscribe. Press the 5 stars.
That's right.
We appreciate it all.
Cool. That's right. All right. We'll catch you on the next one. Thanks.
See ya.